Race fans, this is the drag race you've been waiting for. Funny Car Chaos is back in Odessa, and Penwell Knights Raceway is the place to be on Cinco de Mayo weekend, Friday night and Saturday, May 3rd and 4th. It's the Lone Star Forklift West Texas Nationals, presented by Madden Sales and Service, WNS Lowry, and Schufelt Rig Service. And it features outlaw funny cars from across the United States in a battle for over $35,000 in prize money. It's the fastest, wildest, loudest drag race of the year in West Texas. Kids 12 and under get in for free. And every ticket May 3rd and 4th at Penwell Knights Raceway west of Odessa. Visit funnycarchaos.com for schedule and more information. Trust us when we say, you gotta be there.
You certainly do got to be there. But you are here right now with Chaos Live, and we've got a great show lined up with our winners from State Capitol Raceway, the Chaos Cajun Nationals. Hello, I am Lee Kraft, a.k.a. the Monday Morning Racer, along with the voice of Chaos, Mr. David Rattan. David, I know you're doing well tonight, and there is plenty to talk about in the world of chaos.
Oh, yeah, there is. I tell you, that Laris Motorsports Insurance Chaos Cajun Nationals, it delivered on the promise that it always does, and we had a great time. We had such a good time down there. You know, we talked last time about the fans at State Capitol Raceway, and it was they did not let us down. It was excitement all the way around. Everything about the thing was really great. You know, in the springtime in Louisiana, sometimes you wonder what you're going to get weather-wise, but I'm telling you what, like Doug Core says, it was a great race, and we were blessed with beautiful weather. Could not have been much better, and you know, had some good results. Had a lot of firsts, Lee, that we have never seen before. Had our first wheel stander, as Ray Kelly decided to add a wheel stander to their group of race cars. Then he was trying to figure out how to get that thing from A to B all the way down the racetrack on the back wheels. And I got to tell you, you know, that takes a lot of chutzpah. I think that's the word. And Ray Kelly has definitely got some of that. And he put on a fantastic show. So, you know, I just can't say enough good things about what happened down there at Baton Rouge. So we really enjoyed our time down there, spending time with the fans. And of course, Laris was in the house as they were bringing the race to us as the title sponsor. But you know, there was just a lot of great things, and we'll talk about those. You know, I mentioned firsts. There were several, and you know, we had the wheel stander. We had the first time there's ever been a repeat winner at State Capitol. It's Kirk Williams, who we have on the show tonight. He went in there and off the trailer took the #1 qualifying spot, and it wasn't until the first round of eliminations that somebody else ran about that time, and Kirk came back and took low ET of the event. But Kirk was the first ever repeat winner in Funny Car Chaos competition there. It was the first time for Chris Schneider, our other guest tonight, to be in the final round, and he took the win. He was the first. It was his first win down there, and another one of our new racers, that would be Casey Geisland, got his first 3-second runs. He got 2 of them, one in qualifying and one in the first round of elimination. So there was a lot of happy going on in that pit area over there. But it was a terrific race. The Dirty South Gassers, man, they came out in force as not only the Dirty South Gassers, but their cousins, the Southern Outlaw Gassers and the Misfit Gassers and every other gasser organization, I think, in the South came by, and man, they put on a fantastic show. And Chantel and that group always deliver on the promise of bringing plenty of excitement to the fans, and the racing was excellent. So, you know, we really had a terrific time down there, Lee.
Well, that is good to hear that it was such a terrific time. And yes, that fan base down there at State Capitol Raceway and just throughout southern Louisiana, it seems like, because I've experienced the fans also at No Problem Raceway, they love their drag racing and they turn out for drag racing and to experience it. And they certainly love to experience the chaos when it does roll through near the capital of Louisiana.
Yeah, we had Chris had shared on the All Things Chaos page just some of the immediate feedback that they got with people taking the time to send an email and send a message and just compliment the racers, talk about what a terrific show it was and how much they enjoyed experiencing the races with us. And really it was just fantastic. And we are getting ready to go on out for the West Texas Nationals. I was looking at the deal, and it's like 6th annual. I'm thinking, have we been doing this that long? That there's a 6th annual West Texas Nationals, and I got to look at it. It is 6th annual, because the very first exhibition race that we did after that 2018 season was at the end of the first championship season, 2019, when we were out there in West Texas in November, and it actually was plenty cold. And so we're going out there for the 6th time. Always a great experience out there in the Permian Basin with Gary and JB and all the folks that are making things happen at Penwell Nights Raceway. Can hardly wait to get there, and we'll kind of do a preview on that coming up at the end of the show. But the points came out. We have tie at the top with Chuck Lofton and Kirk Williams in the number 1 spot in points. Wayne Hoffman with a runner-up finish there in Baton Rouge is number 3 in points. Bill Bernard, after 2 strong performances, a win at Ennis and a semifinal finish in Baton Rouge, number 4 in points. Chris Schneider in the 5th spot. And we got a 3-way tie in 6. You think this is not competitive? It is very competitive. Jade Cook, Nick Polson, and Shane Lawson all tied for 6th place, just ahead of Tom Purchase, our 23 champion, and Alex Barker in the 10th spot. So that rounds out the top 10 on our points. But so many guys and gals are putting up some incredible performances. Those official numbers came out yesterday. We were looking at some things unofficially at the racetrack. I was trying to keep up with a little bit of how that was going on, but the official points came out today. And it was, it's shaping up to be an extremely competitive season. And when we go out to Penwell Nights, we're going to shake it up a little bit more, and we'll talk about 2 of our leading contenders for the 2024 championship. We're going to get a chance to talk to them both tonight as they are slated and ready to go for their interviews. Going to have Chris Schneider, the driver of the Brutus Mach 1, coming up first, and he's going to be our first guest. Then after that, we'll have a little break, and we'll have Kirk Williams, our 2022 season champion. The Williams brothers really came into this 24 season, it seems, with a strong purpose and definitely on a mission. And so we're going to ask him about that as well. But All Things Chaos, the website, there's all kinds of news there all the time. It seems like something is breaking each and every day. There's cars for sale. There's cars being built. There are new racers wanting to come and get involved in the chaos. And of course, we're getting into our busy season with a couple races in May, but the first of the month being out at Penwell Nights, and then finishing the month on Memorial Day weekend with the Chaos in the Cornfield. So it's time to gear up, ramp up, and get out there for the races, because we're getting ready to go to West Texas before heading to the Midwest for a while. And so the racing is going to get extremely good. And I can hardly wait for the next chance to do that in a week and a half.
It is certainly going to be good. If you all do want to see the official points, you can see the official points in photo form on the Funny Car Chaos Facebook page, and you can also see it on the website. So you can stay up to date on the points race. And as usual, it's tight and great competitive action happening in Chaos Land.
Might not should have took that drink right there.
It happens, David. No worries, man.
It happens sometimes.
It does. Well, I take it you're ready for our first guest of the night, one of the winners from Baton Rouge.
I am ready, and I know that the fans are ready too, as this team brings an awful lot of excitement to the Chaos. So after the break, we'll come back and get started with our first interview of the evening with Chris Schneider of Team Brutus.
Laris Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Laris Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Laris insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Laris even pays racers contingencies at the fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Laris Motorsports Insurance today.
Taylor Motorsports Products is your first stop for quality safety equipment for your car or your driver. All of our safety equipment products are made in our facility in Albany, Oregon. From custom fit fire suits to racing seat belts, supercharger restraints, engine diapers, transmission blankets, and many other must-have items. Our racing history runs deep. We are racers building the finest safety equipment for racers. And we're a proud supporter of the Chaos.
Welcome back, everybody. There he is, folks. The Flying Butcher is in the house for his interview tonight. Chris, it's always good to see you, and I see you've got the trophy there behind you as you just continue to stack those up.
Yeah, they're getting so deep we have to stack them up higher and higher, but that's a good problem to have. It's always good to be here with you, Dave. We love it, and hello, Chaos Nation.
All right, man. It's good to have you back. And of course, we were talking about you getting to the final round. This was your 11th final round, and now you've got your 5th event winning trophy. And I understand you missed the victory celebration out at Waffle House, but I think you've probably figured out a few ways to celebrate anyway.
Yeah, I didn't get the memo on the Waffle House visit, but Becky and I found a way to celebrate, so it was all good.
Well, that's great. Now the race there, you came off the trailer, and we were talking there after your first run down the racetrack, and you indicated that maybe you weren't sure exactly what to expect on that first run, but after that one, you guys began putting up some big numbers, and it seems like maybe you found something.
Yeah, we definitely found something. We were having a lot of trouble down in Texas. We were making good passes, but we were hurting the motor in the process, and that's never a good thing. So we kind of tried something totally different on that first pass, had a new tune-up, and it ran okay, but we knew we were going to have to tune it up some. But in the process of looking at that, John and Justin and crew, they figured out the fuel pump wasn't doing what it should be doing. It was just a little weak. And so luckily we had a spare that our good buddy Ed Wolf at Wolf Pumps had fixed up for us a little while back. And we put the spare on there, and we had a hot rod then. It was running.
Yeah, you very definitely had a hot rod as you came out. You qualified number 2 in the B Field by 1,000th of a second. And 410 was at the time was that was close to your personal best, right?
Yeah, we've run 406 like 3 times. We've run several 4.0 numbers, but 406 was the best we'd ever run. So a 410 with, really our first try with the new pump the way it was and trying to figure the tune up, we were pretty happy. We were thinking, okay, we might be able to do something now.
I go back to that very first race at Mocan all those years ago with Roland being there and you guys having the old car, and and it's kind of like, look at us now. I think that there might have been the Pineapple Hotline might have rung up if it could have, and he probably would have been telling you how proud he was of you.
Well, he may not have told us how proud he was of us, but we would have found out from other people later on. But I'm sure he was smiling down on us. And, while we're talking about that, before we get into much else, I do want to give a shout out to our other buddy, Larry Reyes. down in Memphis. He was Roland's driver of the original Hawaiian car, and we've been friends for years now, and he helps us out a lot too, gives us a little guidance, both on the car and in life. And he's been under the weather, and he's in the hospital down there, and we're really thinking of him. He's starting to do a little better. He's going in the right direction. So we just want Larry to know we're thinking of him. I'm guessing he might be watching us right now. And Larry, we're all pulling for you, and we want you to get healed up good so we can get you back at the races, because we need your help, buddy.
Well, that was one of the things, having raced at the end of the season last year in Baton Rouge, it seemed like, weren't we just here? And the answer is, well, yeah, we were just here. And of course, that was so much fun. Larry was there at that race in the fall at the finals, and I got a chance to meet him. And it's the very first time, actually, that I had a chance to meet him, even though he's been at several races before. But Larry, we do wish you the best, and we hope that you're on the mend, and hope to see you at another race very, very soon. So you did get your personal best in eliminations, though, with the car stepped up and really was flying down the racetrack in the semifinals.
Right. We every round of eliminations we knew wasn't going to be a gimme. I mean, we had tough draws every time. Alex Barker was our first round opponent, and that car is certainly capable of running fast. He's been doing good. He was deep in the points last year, and the young kids tend to do pretty good on the tree. So we knew it was going to be a tough run. So we had a good tune-up in it, and the Butcher tried to do his job, and we come out on top on him. But then the next round we had Tom Purchase, last year's champ, and that was just going to be a good old-fashioned slugfest. We knew that. Both of us, we were going to hang it out all they had, and we ended up having identical 021 lights, and the race was on. But fortunate for us, he had a little bit of trouble at mid-track, and our old hot rod motored down to its best ET ever, 405. So we were definitely ready for him.
Now, do you actually keep up with your reaction times, Chris?
Well, it's pretty easy to keep up with them. They're usually such small numbers. So, I can usually keep up with them with the fingers on one hand. But
yeah, a little sarcastic there.
I take that pretty seriously, as you know, because that's all part of the race, and I got to do my job, and I do strive to cut really good lights, and I think I did okay this past weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say you did a little better than okay, because in the first round you had in the first round you had a 005, and in the final round you had 009. So I say you held up your end of the bargain and did quite a great job at that. So good job.
Maybe I'll get an attaboy out of that from John, you think?
He might not say anything, but I bet he knows, because you certainly put yourself out front. Somebody's going to have to catch you, usually from the starting line. So tell me about your experience this time around. I know last time was great with the State Capitol Raceway fans, but you guys came ready with Brutus merchandise, and of course, you guys bring a lot of excitement to the racetrack. No matter where you go, you guys have got the whole package with backup gladiator and the full costumes and the old school race car and plenty of excitement. So how did it go with the fans this time?
Well, it was awesome. I mean, it really was. Like you talked earlier, the fans down there, they're just fantastic. And yes, we come to race. Yes, we come to run hard, but we also do try to put on a show. And I think the fans appreciate that. And Justin does a great job. He gets the fans all whipped up out there, and people love the car. The car has a great look. And John always has it looking like a brand new car. And we try to run good and do good burnouts and try to turn on a wind light, and the fans appreciate it. And down there, after every round, they would just come in droves. I mean, the kids would be lined up. Of course, most of them wanted Justin's autograph. They don't care about this old man. But But no, he had them lined up. They were taking pictures with him. They were taking pictures with the car. The excitement level was it was really invigorating for us. It truly helped pump us up to keep doing what we had to do.
Yeah, that can be taxing. It wasn't especially hot. I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't hot down there. It was warm, and it was definitely humid. But having a little bit of a boost from the fans or from some other source is certainly helpful. So, Chris, you come into this season, you've had 4 finishes in a row in the top 10, and you're sitting number 5 in the points right now, just 2 races into the season. So it looks like you are well on track for another one of those top 10, maybe top 5 finishes, and maybe even the championship. And you have got such a great team around you that keeps you guys going. You're consistent. Like you mentioned, the car comes in, it's all ready it looks good, it's well prepared, and you've got a very hard-working crew that does a tremendous job making sure that you're able to just drive and get it down the racetrack.
Absolutely. We're just so lucky to have the crew we have. John, he works so hard behind the scenes. He's working on the car at nights when we're all at home watching TV half the time. But he's the one that has to pay the bills. He's the one that has to buy the parts. He's the one that works on the car when some of us aren't even there. But Randy and Brittany and Justin and even I show up occasionally, and we put a lot of work in the car, and it takes a lot of time and effort, but occasionally it pays off, just like it did this past weekend for us. So it's a lot of work, but we wouldn't do it if we didn't enjoy it. It's a passion, and when you have crowds like we did down at Baton Rouge, it just builds that passion even more. We've got Don and Brenda Ferris. They help out a lot too. You were talking about our merchandise. They're kind of like in charge of our merchandising there. They run the tent, and Don he wheels me around in the golf cart. I have like a personal chauffeur in the golf cart. That's his job. And Brenda sells the stuff so we can afford to come back to the next race.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at this picture that's on the screen right now, and we've talked about it so often with this 71 throwback car. And the burnouts that you do and everything, it looks just so much like the old days. And you've been very kind to have me out to your shop, and I've seen it. And you've got lots of memorabilia, and you've got pictures, and you got trophies, and you've got all kinds of stuff out there. But you just keep adding to it because of the success that your team has. And to have the winner circle picture there in front of that iconic tower at State Capitol Raceway, that's got to be another one of those things that kind of, it's kind of like makes you feel like you're living a dream, doesn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, that's what this is all about. We are living our dreams, and we've been very lucky. Like you said, in the past, we were blessed to have Roland on the road with us at a bunch of races and help us out along the way. And we learned so much, and he connected us with so many people that were able to help us and got us indoors we would have never got in. And we got to go to events and places that we never would have. And it just kept building the passion. And I tell people all the time, I mean, I get to live my dream. I mean, that's as good as it gets. I get to do what I've always wanted. I've raced my whole life, but I've always wanted to drive a funny car. And thanks to John and our crew, I get to do that. And we're really blessed.
Well, and it's so exciting to see you guys perform, because not only do you get to drive a funny car, but you get to drive it well, and you get to drive it to the winner's circle, for the 5th time now in 11 final rounds, and it has. I kind of have the feeling that you got some good stuff going on.
I gotta tell you something, Dave. I may owe you a little bit on us winning, because I was sitting in the staging lanes before the finals, and I could hear you announcing while they were doing the track prep. and I heard you say how we had been in 10 finals and I had won 4. And I thought, man, I'm not even batting 500. I got to do something about that. So that gave me just a little bit more inspiration. So thanks, buddy. You're part of the reason we won.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to have a little part of that, even if it's not really deserved. Your opponent in the final round, though, Wayne Hoffman, you guys were matching up all day, running those 4.0s, those low 14s and the 4.0s. And so going into that final, you guys had to have a good plan in order to take out that Firebird.
Oh, most definitely. We basically left the 405 tune-up in it, and the air got a little bit better. So we expected maybe just a tick better run, and we knew we were going to need it because there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to run a 4.0 something. And he was nailing the tree all weekend. So we talked about our run with Tom Furchess being a slugfest. I don't know what other term to use. This was like us just battling it out. I knew it was going to be just punching it out all the way down the track. I knew we were going to be side by side, and we were. I mean, we basically left together. I just barely got him off the line. We both had killer lights, and both cars launched really hard, and we were both trucking, and we were side by side till about mid-track, and he ran into a shifter issue, and Brutus kept on trucking. But lucky for us, after I hit the Baton Rouge speed bump at about half track, and the car landed from that. Apparently our battery shorted out, and the car just went dead. It's just like it shut off instantly. And I coasted through the lights to a 410. Lucky for us, he had issues with the shifter because he may have been able to get around us there. So our battery bought the farm on the last run, but it got us as far as we needed. We were able to turn on the wind line.
Wow. Yeah. When you get around the 2023 champion, you've earned your victory. So you've been at this. This is now, you guys started doing this in 2018 with CHAOS. You've seen it all from early on till right now. Tell the fans the level of the competition, what you've seen in the years that we've been doing this. What's the CHAOS experience? How has it changed? How has it grown? What do you think about it?
Well, grown is the best term to use. It just keeps growing. And that's both from cars, participants, spectators, sponsors, venues. Everything is just growing, and it continues to. And that's kudos to Chris and Tara Graves there. They're just doing a phenomenal job of keeping this going and heading it in the right direction. It's just like there's no end in sight of what it can do. So we're just trying to hang on as best we can and enjoy the ride. And, you're talking about what's changed over the years. Well, we're running 4.0s now, and at some places that'll just get you in the C field maybe. The cars just keep going faster and faster, and the competition, is unreal. Everybody's getting good on the lights. I'll be honest, 3 or 4 years ago, we could beat a lot faster car than us because usually I could get over a 1/10 of a second on the starting line. Well, those days are gone. Everybody's getting good on the tree. So now I just hope to maybe get, a few thousandths or maybe 100th or 2 on them if I can. And John just has to tune the car up to the best of his ability, and it just gets tougher and tougher. But on the other side of that, what's nice is if you do win now, you definitely know you've accomplished something. To win a CHAOS race now, you are really doing something, and people are taking notice all around the country. I travel around doing a lot of different things, and everywhere we go, people know CHAOS. They talk about CHAOS. They know I run in CHAOS. They know the car, and they want to talk about CHAOS. So I think in drag racing, it's one of the hottest tickets out there right now, and we're just tickled to be part of it.
Well, I have to tell you that we're tickled that you're a part of it and have been for so long. And I do want to say thanks and congratulations. Thanks for being on the show tonight. Congratulations for another win. And as we head out to Odessa, I know that the fans are going to be looking forward to another great performance, another great experience. And man, I just appreciate you being a part of it and sharing your insights, because you've got a lot of them from having, with you and John having done race production for all these years that you did that. You've got a very valuable perspective and a big picture perspective that really adds a lot to all things chaos. So again, hats off to and thanks to all you guys for the terrific work you've done. Thanks for being on, and congratulations on another win.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate all you do, Dave. I mean, you do such a good job, and Lee, the great work he does with all the video work and promotion that he does. I mean, it's a team effort by everybody, and everybody works their tails off, and the end product is what pays off. But we were kind of sitting on the fence about whether to go to Odessa or not. It's such a far drive, and we had kind of decided that we probably weren't. But John asked me to give a message to Chris Graves if I could. Is it okay if I give it to him here?
Oh, I suppose so.
Hey, Chris, see you in Odessa, bitch. We're going to be there.
Okay, I guess he delivered that message loud and clear. I know Chris is watching, so I would say he would say message received. Well, again, thank you for being here, and always a joy to spend time with you, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's in person, and all the best to your team. Thanks for being on.
Thank you. It's always great to be here, and rock and roll, and let's keep racing.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, race fans, Chris Schneider has just let you know that they're going to be in Odessa, and they're going to see if they can go 2 in a row in the winner's circle with the Brutus Mach 1. And they're always bringing the excitement, always bringing their A game. So we hope you'll join us for that. Right after the break, we're going to be speaking to our A Field winner from State Capitol Raceway and the 2022 Funny Car Chaos champion, Kirk Williams. So hang in there. We'll be right back with you.
If you can race it, chances are we make a piston or connecting rod for it. Oh, we have about 4,000 to 5,000 different part numbers on the shelf for connecting rods and pistons. So about half of what we sell comes right off the shelf, and the other half is custom-made parts. I am a firm believer in distribution and everybody getting their cut, doing their job, and getting rewarded for it. So we'll see how that goes in the future.
Welcome back, everybody. We're on Chaos Live, and we have got our next guest, the 2022 season champion from Funny Car Chaos, driver extraordinaire Kirk Williams. Kirk, welcome to the show again.
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. The question is, how are you guys doing?
We're doing okay. We're just right now getting the car serviced up and ready to go to Odessa and just making some repairs on it from being down in Louisiana. Things didn't always go well, so we got some things to fix.
Okay. Well, you had they certainly went well enough to get into the winner's circle, as you guys put on a very strong performance there from the first run off the trailer to the final round.
Yeah, we was really concerned, well, my brother was anyway, about how the track was last year with us. And his biggest concern was trying to get the tune-up hit right the first time, and we did. We did have a good run down the track once last year, so we went right back to that tune-up, and it went right down the track. And so that was able to just keep building on that same tune-up all the way into the final.
Well, it certainly worked, and it worked well for you. You find yourself back in a familiar spot, up on top of the points list, 2 races into this 2024 season. So that probably feels pretty good to be right back in that spot.
Oh yeah, it's always nice to be there, but it's a long season, anything can happen. But the nice thing is we're coming into a couple tracks here. The next 2 that we go to, we always do well at, being Penwell and Eddyville. So we're hoping to just continue to build on the success we had in Louisiana and just hopefully keep moving forward from that point.
Yeah, there's some, for people that don't know, your first win was at Penwell, but it was actually not at Penwell. It was at Eddyville when the final round was weathered out down there. You were in the final round, and so we ran 2 finals in Eddyville, and you got 2 wins in one night, or 2 wins in one weekend up there at Eddyville. So I hadn't really thought about that till you mentioned it, but you guys have got a great record at Penwell and, of course, at Eddyville. So that's got to feel good going into there.
Oh yeah, it does, and that's just the main thing, is being able to keep just things moving forward, just keep building on what's going on, and keep the car moving forward. And as the car keeps going rounds, it's just the points will add up. They'll take care of themselves, and we're just hoping these next 2 races we can, make some pretty good strides with that.
The competition this year, especially fierce. It's not that it hasn't always been fierce, but it's, going into this year, just looking at the number of people that were in a position to compete for the title. It's just amazing, the performance levels that we've got. In the off season, you guys did a lot of work, a lot of off-season work. Of course, there's always some of that done, but it seems like maybe you guys have gone a little extra this year. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, we started building a new car, and that has been quite the undertaking. And the car's coming along real nice. The frame's all done. My brother's, he's just got to do some welding on it, get some tabs on it, but it's all the little things right now that's just gonna eat up all the time. It's hanging the extinguishers, the brackets for the pedals, it's just everything in between. It seemed like when the main frame got done pretty relatively quick, but it's a major undertaking. And then comes the body. We got a new body for it, so this one won't be on the car, and then mounting that, and that's just, it's an undertaking. This is not the first time we've done this, but it's always just time consuming as can be, and you got to have it right. So you want to make sure you do it right. Well,
exactly right. And one of the things that some folks might not know is that you guys fabricate your own cars. And so, this championship car that you've been driving for, how many years have you had this?
We built this one during COVID in 2020. And that one was quite the deal, because that car was being built in my garage while me and my nephew was wiring my shop. So we was burning the candle at both ends there. And so finally, when they got the car done, we got the shop done, they carried the frame over into the new shop, and we finished it up over there. But yeah, we build our cars, we tune our cars, we do everything to them. I mean, except we're not painters, so you can tell by the truck, okay?
Well, the record of that car speaks well to the Williams brothers' talent and skill as fabricators and as racers. So let there be no mistake about that. So, coming into this season, after, you've been racing Funny Car Chaos for 3 years, never finished worse than second place, which is pretty amazing. And, the competition level after that dominant season that you had in 2022, did you feel like that maybe everybody elevated their game to try to keep pace?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And that's what you always hope for is, people will continue to elevate. You just you come in and if you're faster, you just hope to God that they do want to elevate their game. And then other people come into the series. So, it's just like now Bill Bernard, he's joined the series, which is an extremely tough car, and Keith Zimmer, he came in, but unfortunately he's sidelined for just a little bit. Lance Van Houen. So the series is growing and it's just getting tougher every time. So there's no easy walk in the park with any of these. I mean, and look at Casey's car. He ran a 390, I think, what was it, a 96, 97? I mean, that guy's going to be in the A field pretty consistently, and he's just going to keep moving his way up too. So everybody's just elevating their game, which is good. And Clay, look at he's got a new car. So yeah, the series is growing really nice, and everybody's stepping up, and there is, like I said earlier, it's not a walk in the park in no way, shape, or form. And don't let me forget Shane too. I mean, he's got another car now, and he's got Ken helping him, which, we all know Ken's background. So it's tough.
Yeah, the number of competitors that are able to go 370, 360 on occasion, and maybe even 350 now and then if the conditions are right, it's just making for a real logjam up there at the top. But the number of competitors that want to come and race in Chaos because they can run their own combination, and we're seeing more turbo cars, we're seeing all different kinds of combinations, and the Chaos model allows for people to do their own thing, and we're starting to see some people have some success at that. So it's really good. So we're coming into this stretch here with Odessa and Eddyville and Cordova, and it's 3 weeks between Odessa and Eddyville and 2 weeks before Cordova, or maybe it's 3 weeks. I guess it's 3 weeks. So gives you a little time there, and it's also being in more of in your region of the country where you guys are based out of. Does that give you a better sense of being able to be more prepared for your events?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, we've had great success at Penwell and Odessa. We've had success in Eddyville. Man, it's been one of them days. I apologize. And we've raced Cordova quite a few times, even when we was in NHRA. So we've got good tune-ups for the tracks, and the weather stays around here pretty much the same during that time of year. So yeah, I mean, coming into these next 3 races, things look good for us, and that's why we want to just keep building on that.
So you've got you're going to be running this car pretty much the whole season, or do you expect to roll out the new car sometime this year?
Well, that's the plan, is to roll out the car towards the end of the year. If things are still going well with the points, you won't see it in the Chaos Series. Our plan is to take it outside to another track and run it, and just to get it ironed out before we come into the Chaos Series with it next year.
Okay.
So we'll probably find ourselves down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, somewhere in October.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll look forward to it whenever it is. One of the things that people talk about all the time with Chaos is family, the family orientation, whether it's, everything about what we attempt to bring to the racetrack is family oriented. And that includes the teams. And of course, Williams Brothers Racing Team, you and your brothers and you and all the family, you guys embody that to a great deal. Talk about a little bit about what that means, to your family, to be racing together, to be running Chaos together, to be running a funny car, and you guys have to spend a lot of time together building race cars, servicing it, going up and down the road, staying together at the racetrack. Talk about that.
Yes, we do. But, you know, and you're right. It's about family. I mean, this whole thing started with my father and my uncle, and it just kept building from that point. And it's always been the family racing. And then as me and my brothers got into the drag racing and stuff, we just kept it moving forward. And that's one nice thing when you race with your family. You know, you can count on them. You know they're going to bring the best car that you can to the track. So bar none, that is the best way to have it. And that's all I've ever known, you know. So, and then not to mention, you know, our wives, they are a huge part of it too. Without them, it'd be tough to even do without them, you know. So, you know, that's one thing with the whole CHAOS series is you just look around and it's families. That's what it is. I mean, you don't see teams where it's, you know, you've got people here and here that's been hired on, or, you know, they just help them or whatever. It's, I'll say 90% of them there is family, and that's what keeps the cars going. And it's easier, I think, at times when you race with your family because you have more time. Like there'll be times we'll be sitting around at Thanksgiving or Christmas and just start talking about racing on a particular race and how the car went, and start spitballing on what would have made that run better, you know. And so when you got that kind of dynamic going, it makes it somewhat easier to get the car to produce results because everybody is always thinking on how to make it better. And being together like that all the time, you can always talk and just try to figure things out.
You never know when somebody's going to come up with that idea that makes somebody else go, hey, yeah, that let's try that. And because when you're thinking about it almost 24/7, 365, you know, with your family there, that can create some thoughts that could bring, quite honestly, can bring some of the success that we see that is so common in your team. As you got to your 16th final round since you've been racing in CHAOS, and this is the beginning of your 4th season racing CHAOS. So, you know, you guys found your way to the final rounds in the winner's circle very early on, and it seems like it's just continuing. And I think it's kind of it's not a silly question because, you know, not everybody thinks this way all the time, but I know that you guys are thinking championship. That's what you race for, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, that's why you do it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. You're out there to, you know, you have fun because you get to meet people like yourselves and Shane and Casey Gleason and all them people you get to just hang out with and have fun. And so, yeah, that's the best part about this thing. It is.
We were talking with Chris earlier, and he was mentioning that about the level of competition. You like it when it gets more competitive, and the person in the other lane is somebody that you really have to be up and ready if you're going to take them out instead of just having a walk. You know, if it was just a walk, you could go to the drag strip and make test runs all the time and have all the fun you wanted to. But it's way more fun, you know, when you're neck and neck with the cream of the crop.
Oh, it is. And that's this nice thing is, you know, you get up on the starting line and it's all business. It's all over from that point when you cross the finish line and everybody's back together again and drinking beers or talking and, you know, going over the run on, you know, next time I'll get you, or, you know, just however it goes. It's a good time. And I'll tell you a quick little story here real quick. There it happened at there in Louisiana when I was racing Shane was, of course, we both left, and you can quite tell both of us got kind of in trouble right away. And the car was shaking so hard at times. I mean, it was pulling me onto the center line, and it was getting harder and harder to see. by the time I got to the finish line, I just seen the score. I couldn't see what it said. So I thought I lost because I'd never seen no green light come up. I seen green lights over on his side. So I got around the corner. I got undressed, and Chris, he asked me, he says, did you win? I says, no. I said, we lost. He says, well, that's all right. You'll get him next time. I said, oh, yeah, it's just another race. So I'm sitting there waiting for the guys to come pick me up. And here they come, and they're all jovial, have beers in their hands. And I'm thinking to myself, well, they're about the happiest people I've ever seen to lose a race. And so they got out of the truck. And I says, well, what the hell are you guys so happy about? We lost. My brother goes, no, you didn't. You won. I says, no, the green light is on over there still. And he goes, those are the green light sticks that let them know that that track is clear. It's on the back of that golf cart. Hey.
I've got to tell you, watching the two of you going down the racetrack on that final, I could tell you had your hands full, and Shane had his hands full too, because I don't know if you saw this all weekend long, but that car was on two wheels the whole. We had the first time ever a wheel stander being there with Ray Kelly, but we also had Shane Lawson there on two wheels the whole weekend. You guys were both earning your keep in a big time way down there, and it just happened to come out your way this time for sure.
Yep. Yeah, it did. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I had no idea I won because I never seen the green light come on. I just seen that green over on his side. I was like, yeah, okay, is what it is. And then here they come all happy. And I'm just like, what are you guys so happy about?
Happiest people you've ever seen who have lost the race.
High.
Oh, that's a great story. Thanks for sharing that. Now you've got some folks that some sponsors that help you make this go.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Well, I do want to say one thing. We got a new sponsor coming on board, Word Loop Construction. He's joined the family now, and of course we still have Good Life RV. Goodyear Tires are still helping us. CP Carrillo, Red Line Oil, the Hemi Parts King, Mike Cavalieri. He gives us help when he can. So yeah, and then Steve at B&J Transmission. He always cuts me slack when he can. So it's always, it's a combination of those people that really help get this car going and get it to the winner's circle.
Yeah. And it takes support in a variety of ways to get it all done, because there's a lot of moving pieces. It's just like you're talking about putting that new car together. There's a lot of pieces that have to go in just the right place and at just the right angle and all those different types of things that most of us never think about. But if you're going to put one together and put it together right, you think about it and you'll think about it 100 times so that it is exactly right.
And I don't want to forget Star Racing belts. They, bar none, have the best blower belts out there. And I just want to give them a little shout out too.
All right, that's fantastic. We've got, because unfortunately we see belts on the racetrack far too often, and I don't see that a lot from you.
No, that's one thing. This car is not really hard on blower belts, but a lot of the cars that are on them two steps, that's what gets the belts. It's hard on them. Of course, not sit here and tell you this. I'm going to go out there and spit one off, but
yeah, better knock on wood or something.
Right. But yeah, we don't eat blower belts up at all, hardly. I mean, we wear them out, so which is a good thing, because that keeps from destroying any of the wiring or anything like that. Because one of them things come off, man, whatever's in its path is getting tore out.
Yeah. It's going to be bad news for something else.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're really looking forward to getting down to Odessa. We just got a lot of work to do right now. We got the engine out of the car and got the rear end out, just going through everything, inspecting everything, making sure it's all up to snuff. And I got some more parts coming from B&J Transmission to fix this one, because we did have a mishap while we was down there. I blew the transmission up in Q3. It was just about the time I was getting ready to poke second gear. It revved up and it shredded the sun gear. And so that really kind of put us behind trying to get ready for the first round. But everybody pulled together and chipped in. And, that's why we have a great team. Everybody has a job, and everybody knows everybody else's job. So when somebody gets a problem like this, they can start helping and getting parts lined up and get them out of the trailer, and so we can get them put together. So it works out nice.
One of those keys to success is do it over and over again so many times that not only do you know how to do it right, but that you know it so well that you can't do it wrong.
Right. That's right.
You guys have got that going on. Well, man, what a pleasure to spend some time with you again, and want to celebrate your win and congratulate you and the whole family and the whole team. Sitting up there on top of the points and going into Odessa, a place where you've had plenty of success before. Man, we look forward to seeing you down there, and we wish you the very, very best.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Dave. I want to thank Chris and Tara Graves and Ed Wolf and Spell Paving and Fred from there, and because without them, we wouldn't have no place to race. And thanks to them, we got somewhere to go.
That's right. Well, it's a good place to be. So thanks for being a part of it.
Yeah, thank you for letting us be a part of it.
You bet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, your points leader, 2022 champion in Funny Car Chaos, and started off the season extremely strong here in 2024. That's Kirk Williams and the 200 Proof Racing Team. So we're going to take one more break and give our sponsors some love, and we'll come back and wrap it up right after this.
Spell Paving Services provides professional customer service and performance for your next industrial or large-scale private paving project. From parking lots, roads, and driveways to seal coat, chip seal, concrete, and asphalt, there's no job too big for the team at Spell Paving Services. Serving a 500-mile radius from Dallas-Fort Worth, Spell Paving Services has you covered. Call 214-384-3056 to get a competitive quote today and tell them the Chaos sent you.
Well, the time down there in Baton Rouge certainly must have been a good time. Congratulations to Chris Schneider and Kirk Williams, the winners down there for the fields that were on the track, the A and the B. And certainly Odessa is going to be another good one. I wasn't there last year, but I heard it was a spectacular event, and it really went off well on Cinco de Mayo and pairing all that together with funny cars. And such an interesting location and a good facility out there in West Texas.
Yeah, that's right, Lee. We had a good time there last year, and we've always managed to have a good time there as they continue to work year over year, making improvements on the racetrack. That place has been around since the 60s. You probably saw on All Things Chaos another one of the posts from the funny car race there in the mid-'80s, I think it was, with John Force racing the Hawaiian in a match race out there at Penwell back 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Yeah, wow, that's been a long time. But that's one of those places I heard about when I was growing up. There in Amarillo, you always hear about Penwell, and they always had something great going on. So we're going to have something great going on there May 3rd and 4th, as we have got, I think we got 25 or 26 funny cars entered. So should be running ABC fields. I think all the fans can look forward to the Ride Dragster, as I believe Proud American Motorsports just announced today that they would be there. I think that's what I saw. And, of course, Junior Dragster Shootout.
It's certainly worth it.
Yeah, yeah. You've got that ride down the racetrack, and that you can vouch for it, huh?
It is certainly worth taking the ride and getting the experience and feeling what drivers feel going down the drag strip. Better than a roller coaster.
Well, yeah, that's what I hear, and we have a lot of folks that when the Ride Dragster comes out to Odessa, there's never a shortage of people standing there ready to sign up and take a ride on the wild side, so to speak. So, we're very much looking forward to seeing all of our friends out in West Texas. We're going to be bringing the wheel stander out there again. I'm told Ray Kelly is going to be doing a little bit of more of that out there. We had talked about firsts, and you can't say that the first jet funny car that was ever at Funny Car Chaos was at Baton Rouge last weekend, but it was the first game exchange jet funny car. As Keith Jackson gets his license to drive a jet funny car, and man, they came out and put on a great show. Seeing a lot of great videos that people are putting up and posting from Baton Rouge. We appreciate people adding their touch to the racing activities that take place. Well, Lee, that's all I've got for you tonight. I think we had a couple of good conversations with a couple of great gentlemen, very successful gentlemen on the racetrack and off, I'm sure, as well. But and I think that's probably going to put a wrap on this one for Chaos Live.
Well, folks, get out to West Texas for more chaos.
Race fans, this is the drag race you've been waiting for. Funny Car Chaos is back in Odessa, and Penwell Knights Raceway is the place to be on Cinco de Mayo weekend, Friday night and Saturday, May 3rd and 4th. It's the Lone Star Forklift West Texas Nationals, presented by Madden Sales and Service, WNS Lowry, and Schufelt Rig Service. And it features outlaw funny cars from across the United States in a battle for over $35,000 in prize money. It's the fastest, wildest, loudest drag race of the year in West Texas. Kids 12 and under get in for free, and every ticket is a pit pass. Friday and Saturday, May 3rd and 4th at Penwell Knights Raceway west of Odessa. Visit funnycarchaos.com for schedule and more information. Trust us when we say, you gotta be there.